Okay, here we have the NVIDIA HTPC chassis case. You can see it's nothing too fancy. Just this is just going to be a client PC. And this chassis actually has 2 thumb screws in the corners. Hopefully you can see that. Yep. So we just undo the thumb screw, and then the top just slides off and exposes the innards, as we like to call it. Inside you have your trusty screws and the manual. We don't actually ever read the manual, but it's probably a good idea if this is your first build that you read the manual. Inside we have the USB headers for the front ports, some more USB headers. We have the fan connector. This is for this side 80mm fan that's already installed. Let's see. Then you see there's a space down here for ventilation. I'm not actually going to put a fan there. Here's where your power supply goes. The reason for this is a lot of power supplies have fans on the bottom instead of exhaust. So we're going to put that in there to keep it nice and ventilated. And then over here is where your I/O shield is going to go for the motherboard. Box. Pop it open. Inside there, you're going to find the I/O shield. 2 important things. I/O shield, and then the documentation for the pinouts. So this is important because otherwise you have to read on the motherboard what everything means, and it makes it a lot tougher to understand. So let's install our I/O shield, and the audio ports are always on the bottom, so we're going to install it like so, and you just push it in. It's not the most difficult thing in the world. Careful not to scratch yourself or cut yourself if you're using a case that doesn't have rounded metal edges. This one does, so we appreciate that. Okay, and then we're just going to insert this. You want it to align with not only the mounts, but you're also going to need to align it out of the back panel as well. Sometimes it takes a little bit of jiggling here to get everything to mount up correctly. There we go. Okay. And now we're going to use those very same screws, and we're going to screw everything down. If you're going to be doing some fancy wiring and you're going to want to hide the wires behind the motherboard, feel free to save off on screwing it down just yet. I don't have too many components in here, so that's not something I'm going to worry about. I'll worry about routing the cables myself with how it is. Worst case, if I have to unscrew it, it's not a big deal. Okay. And there's the last and final screw, so you guys can see it. Okay. Okay, everything's nice and tight and installed.